Hello, everyone. Welcome back to DNS Live. Our second week doing the show. I'm a little quiet around here today. It's not as long as everybody a little tight. You want to say hello?
What's that?
So tonight we're going to talk with the whole crew. I'm so excited. We got everybody together tonight. We got the whole crew from Paravisions Paranormal. They're going to join us. Unfortunately, their webcam is broken. I think y'all did that on purpose. So we're going to chit-chat with them. So you get to look at me and Parabeats all night. So we'll have a little bit of fun. So let's go ahead and let's welcome on the gang from Paravisions. We've got Lee, Patty, Patrick, and Jim. You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
God, you guys are like quiet. You guys are normally not this quiet. What is up with tonight? Is it like full moon or something out? We're all like really like, I don't know, dead or something.
No. We're here. No,
You're there.
I'm just running one microphone tonight.
So you guys are sharing back and forth, huh?
Yeah, we're sharing.
Well, let's get this party started. All right, so for the people out there that don't know about Paravisions, which I don't know who wouldn't know about you guys are awesome. Why don't you guys give a shout out to, how you guys got started and each one of the members. I know you guys have a lot of stuff. I was doing some research today. You guys have a lot of stuff going on, and we'll talk about some of that too.
Well, this is Lee Allen, a.k.a. Crazy Legs, on our radio show. And that's the show, first of all. So it's a privilege to be here. I started the group back in 2002, and the reason being I started is back in 1998, my son was born, and he was 2 weeks old, and he passed away with a hypoplastic left heart, which means the left side of his heart wasn't developed. And he passed away 2 weeks old after having the procedure of putting a shunt in his heart. The next morning he passed away. So after that, about a couple months later, I started getting some experiences that I've never knew what they were. Seeing this 2-3 foot tall shadow person coming down my steps, going backwards up my steps, hearing noises in his nursery. Started doing my own research, found out that I'm not the only crazy person out there. And so went out a couple times with some people. My first investigation was in 1999 at Moundsville Penitentiary in Wheeling, West Virginia. And here I am with a regular flashlight with takes C batteries, an analog voice recorder, and that's it. And I go in, and I'm big into the history, so it was really cool and fascinating to be there, other than the paranormal. And then in 2002, I sat down one fall night, and I came up with the name Paravisions. You always do your research before you put a name out there. You don't want to be taking someone's name. Right. So I looked up Paravisions with S's, and of course it was taken. So what I did is I sat back and I was like, really cool, take the S's away and put Z's in. So I did, and it worked. And then and
it looks better.
A lot better. And then I was like, you know what, let me do something. Paranormal, Paravisions. Let's put the P and the V capital. And it looked good, and then it stuck. And then I came up with my phrase, looking into the unknown. And so it's been with us for a long time, our radio show. That's just one of our things we do, and it's what everybody does. We're doing this vision. We're looking into the unknown. And then the same night, I came up with my first shirt logo, Speak Now or Forever Hold Your EVPs.
I love that.
That was pretty cool, and, we sold our shirts the first time. We made them in 2005, and they sold quickly. And we were black and blue then, and all of a sudden I just went to green, and I'm like, you know what, nobody's really black and green, there's other colors involved, so it sticks with us. 2005. Jim is not here. That's how I was going to go down the line. So he's going to have to be last. We'll have to put him in last. But in 2000,
for being late.
what's that?
That's what he gets for being late. I think he's at work.
He's got a cool job. He works part-time. He's a manager for Kings Island Amusement Park in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Fun.
And he actually is on his way from there to here. And he's got about a 25-minute drive, so he'll be here soon. And that's how I met him, is because Paravisions was chosen to investigate the amusement park 4 years in a row. Out of all the teams around here, we were the ones chosen. And it was an honor for me to actually have my team in the park. And that's when I met Jim. That was back in 2008 when I met Jim. And he was right there, and, at the beginning where we all signed our, you cannot put any of our, anything you find on the internet. Everything is hush-hush because there's families still out there, that, because you can Google deaths of Kings Island, and you'll get a lot of deaths. And we picked up a lot of stuff there, stuff that I can't really mention and stuff I can't show. So that, that night I had him come out with us the first night we were at Kings Island to walk around, and me and him clicked, and he had his first oh shit experience, which we like to call the oh shit experience, where you actually will experience something. And we were up in one of the towers for a whitewater ride, the river ride, and what happened was really cool. We heard some footsteps coming up the steps, and we were locked inside, and it's just a little slide over lock, and it drops down. And we were locked in from the inside to keep the door from swinging open. And the front window, the side window's open, so you can look all the way around, almost all the way around. Well, we heard someone coming up the steps, and we said, okay, if that's you, give us a sign of your presence. Well, we heard a little girl's voice on the other side of the door. And I knew there was no kids in the park with us. And it was really cool, because all of a sudden the door lock starts jiggling. And then I tell Jim, we're talking as we're speaking, and I tell Jim to grab the door lock and open it real quick. Well, he couldn't unlock it. And we got this on video, but we can't really put it out there. But his eyes were real big. He was blown away. I can't get this lock. I can't open it. I can't open it. And she's still talking on the other side of the door.
Oh, my gosh.
So we're, I said, let me see. And I tried for like 5-10 seconds, couldn't get it. And all of a sudden it lets go. All we heard, it took, I think there was like 13, 14 steps to go up to the tower. And all we heard was 2 steps. And then you hear gravel. As we swing the door open, I hear gravel like someone ran off. And there is a little girl there that, is not one of the deaths. That is Kings Island went in, not Kings Island, listen, Ghost Hunters went in there last year, January, season 8, episode 1. It's called Roller Ghoster. And Jim was on the show. And they interviewed Jim, and that was the main thing was, okay, we want Paravisions to come in and investigate the park, but we're going to have ghost hunters come in. That's our goal. And I'm like, okay, so we got to investigate it for 4 years before they, they got them in the schedule. And, and then to hear from Britt Griffith, just at Phenomenology, that they actually did get to hear all of our evidence, and they said, you guys had some crazy stuff, but we couldn't share. Awesome. But they can't go off of what we got, because they could only focus on the family, because it was a farm at first, and then it went to the park. Because there's a little girl that plays around the Toyland, the play area, the kiddie land, and a lot of people see her walking around, so they mainly focused on the farmhouse, which is still there, and the child. So I met Jim there. He tagged along with us for the Kings Island that week, and it was a long week. It was Monday through Thursday from 8 to 4:30 in the morning, and of course I work full time, so I could be at work at 8 and work till 4:30. Yeah, and it drug, and we had a good time. We really enjoyed it, and I, then his opportunity came up. I said, hey Jim, you're more than welcome. You're a great photographer. We'd love to have you on the team. You're always welcome, and that's where it started. And then in 2010, I met Patrick, and he came to our office because Paravisions. We had an office in a motel, a historic motel in a local town here, and he came over and he wanted, it was cool. We had him come to a location that we took care of, and people came in and investigated. He started bringing in evidence, stuff that he had, and we started helping him out. And nobody on his team started really helping him. He had his own team, and before he came to Paravisions, and I said, "You're more welcome, buddy, to tag along with us." And I didn't know, but one night we were having a big Paranormal Alliance Network meeting of all the paranormal teams, skeptics, everybody that wanted to come. And he just stands up and says, his team was there, and he says, "Hey, I'm leaving Team Pair. I'm going to join Paravisions." I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
And so he's been with me since 2010. He is my tech guy. He's all about the tech, all the equipment. Jim is more photographer. And then Patrick had a case that he wanted me to check out. He goes, "I'd like for your team to come out and check out this location as, just a second opinion." Sure. Well, we'd love to. Well, he scheduled it. He said, "Here's the time." I was like, "Well, I can't make it. I'm going to send a couple people in that I thought at the time was going to take care of this." Because that was the time that I couldn't pass up. I was on a Super Bowl commercial with Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas.
Oh, that's important.
Whoa.
Yeah, I couldn't pass that up. That was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Paranormal came second to that.
Absolutely.
So the team went out, and then afterwards, it was time for the reveal, and I wanted to come with the people to show them how we do reveals. And I came, and that was Patty's house. And
oh my gosh.
I'm pulling in, and there's someone shoveling the driveway because it's January. Someone is shoveling the driveway, and all I noticed it was a lady. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm telling the people in my car, because Patrick's already here at the time. I was like, man, she's got a lazy husband. She's out here shoveling the driveway for us to pull in while he's sitting in there watching TV in our house. So she says, "Go ahead and go on in." So we go in, and I'm setting up, the people are setting up their computers, and I'm sitting here going over what to expect, what to show, talking to Patrick. He's already set up. And she comes in, and when she takes off for her, she had this little hat on. She takes it off. She comes around through the garage, through that door, around to where we're set up at the dining room table. She took her hat off, and I turned to introduce myself, and I just like, oh my God, she's drop dead gorgeous. And she didn't know at the time. And so she sat down, and the whole time, honest, I couldn't stop looking at her, and I'm like, and at the time I was still living with my ex-wife. We were going through the split and all that, and she just thought I was a jerk because the girl that was here actually was friends with my ex-wife. And she said, "Hey, Jen just texted me, the girl that was with us that was on my team, and says that you're late for dinner." And I was like, "I don't care if I'm late for dinner. She can get bent." And his eyes, I got.
Well, who can blame me for that one? Because number one, he sent me the crap team, pardon my French, so he could go off and do his commercial filming instead of helping family with children involved. And second of all, there was a multitude of events that occurred at that first investigation of my home that were extremely unprofessional and wrong. And so on top of that, now, during my so-called reveal, here is some of these people being immature and flirtatious with each other at my table while we're dealing with this. And this is a case that
Are you taking this serious?
Right. And then this one's like, "Oh, your ex-wife says blah, 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 whatever." And, I didn't expect this show to go that deep. Thank you, Lee. But, that basically was my opinion was, okay, these people are lunatics. And, they left my house. And I really thought about some things. And I called Patrick a few days later because Patrick was my original investigator. And I'm like, dude, we need to talk. During that first investigation of my home, I was hanging out with the girls, and all the guys were investigating elsewhere. Well, there was all sorts of gossip taking place that was being recorded, and I, as the homeowner, kept saying, you're being recorded, right? Like, you're filming this. And the young ladies took it upon themselves to take all of that evidence and delete it. Well, we were not. There were some serious things taking place in my house revolving around me and my kids, so it was a serious issue. So I called Patrick and I'm like, dude, I need to talk to you. Here's what went down during that investigation. No evidence was presented that I saw with my own eyes take place. And I'm like, Lee's a dog. You need to fix this. So Patrick calls me back and he's like, I called Lee. I told him everything. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord, are you kidding? So, there were some changes to the Paravisions team immediately. And there was a reinvestigation of my home. Thank God.
A little bit better the second time.
Well, it was more professional and it was actually handled properly. And, when I had called Patrick's team in, that was an extremely professional investigation, and they were nothing but above board the entire time. So it was appalling to me what I saw the second time around.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
I
such a bonding moment for y'all. I think that's awesome, though.
It's sort of like our story is we're all connected somehow. And it's kind of like stair steps. It went from, Lee to Jim to Patrick to me. And it was when, after the second investigation, they came back again to do the reveal. And I found out there was a spot open on the team. And I said, hey, I don't have experience other than living in this haunted house. But if you're looking to refill that spot, I'm willing to learn. And so that's how I came to be on the team. And, it just went from there.
And that's probably the best way, is having the experience already and coming in.
Well, I'll finish how the team went around, and then I'm going to pass the microphone over to Scooter, Patrick, a.k.a. Scooter. I want to go back because when I started the team in 2002, I went too big. I thought that the more people I was around that I experienced a lot of things was therapeutic to me. And because of losing my son in 1998, 2000, my daughter was born. And she was born with what they call imperforated anus, which that means her rectum didn't go through the skin. So she had to have a colostomy bag on. She had to have a reconstruction of the rectum and all of that good stuff. And in 2002, when I started the team, I had 60 people on the team. I had Paravisions Central. I was covering Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana.
Oh my gosh.
All over. And it was so big that it got too much. And so my daughter passed away May of 2005. She was 5 years old. And that's when it snapped that, okay, I got to really focus on this because I wanted to step away because I'm getting really personal with you guys on this. And this is in our book that's coming out this year.
I was going to ask about that.
But I'm going to spill a little bit to you guys. When she passed away, I was packing up. I was done with the paranormal. But it didn't work that way because I tell people this is how it was. I was in a round room with no doors, and I'm trying to find a door to get out. But the good Lord said, no, this is where you belong. Mm-hmm. This is your mission. You have to help people because my full-time job is I'm a fire inspector. I go all over and I check buildings out. So I know what sounds, electromagnetic fields, all of that stuff. I know what to look for. And then that scent is what, we call the unknown, which is in the bracket of the paranormal. And so I know that I'm here for that. And I've tried several times after that to get out, but it just won't work. I know this is wrong. So, in 2012, guys, beginning of 2012, we formed, we went from that many people to, it was March of 2012. We just went to 4 of us, and it was actually, Patrick's birthday, March 17th, St. Patty's Day. We actually just went to 4 people, and it's been working out well. A lot of things have changed for Paravisions. We've been ran through the dirt because anything, and everybody knows this, anything you do out there that is something good for you or your team, there's always people out there that's trying to bash you because you're doing something they're not.
Yep.
So, I see everybody knows that. Everybody's got that one person that follows them just for that, for that reason. And
we call them paratrolls.
There you go. It's a good paratroll. I mean, and us being in it for so long, now I've got to the point to where I just stand back against the wall and let the bullies and all the idiots run through. Don't say a word because I'm not going to bash my name anymore. It's been around too long. And our focus is on helping the people. Children, of course, is number one. And investigations, we're starting to get some really cool investigations to do. We have our show on Z Talk Radio. I became the executive producer for Z Talk Radio.
Wasn't that just recently too?
Yeah, that was just about a month ago. And Patty is an agent for Phoenix Rising Talent under Brandon Kreitzer.
You guys,
so a lot of things have happened within the past year. And, and it's good. I like to help everybody out. I'm reamping our website. And what I'm doing, a lot of people are like, wow, you're crazy. But this is giving back to the paranormal field. What I'm doing is me and Jim, he's my webmaster, and me and him does all this stuff on our website. Here in about a week, we're going to be opening up our website. We've got a new page called Affiliates Page. And I came up with the new name, Patty did, with one word, and I fell in love with it. And we're actually getting an image made right now through Kimberly Brulette. It's called Paranormal Federation.
I saw that. Okay, so explain what that is. I was going to ask you about that.
Okay, Paranormal Federation is about the paranormal because Paraunity sucks. There's no such thing as Paraunity. Paranormal Federation is I just feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a G.I. Joe, like let's go, let's go get them. Like a team, like a big team build up. And what it is this page is going to network all the people that is professional in the field to me, that I've worked with in the past. And I'm putting your picture on there under different categories. We're having paranormal teams, individuals, crypt, authors, you name it, radio shows. They click on your picture, your image, and bam, it's going to go to your Facebook or your website. So it's a free network for the people that I have worked with and that I can call my friends. So Paranormal Federation actually is building, and I can't wait to get the image done to put on the page. We're also going to have an events page on our website for not just our events, but for anybody out there that has an event coming up for the year, from West Coast, East Coast, Central. We're actually going to plug that in. The website, you click on the picture, it goes to that website. So
awesome.
We are
kind of
going...
like a one go-to spot.
Exactly, and that's what I want. Is I'm tired of all these teams out there. Not all, but some. They are all about themselves. They're not about helping others. They're not about stopping what they're doing to help someone to follow, because there is no. I don't know where everybody's going. There is no God at the end of the tunnel that's going to say you're president, you're vice president of the paranormal field. We're all on the same page. It don't matter if you have a show. To me, we're all on the same page with them. They just got lucky to be on a show, but it doesn't matter because we're all doing the same thing.
I think that's good because it gives us time to network with each other as well. I mean, one of the big things that when I got into this, 3 years ago, I was given the advice of, go out there and investigate with whoever you can, learn from whoever you can. And so I think that's awesome, because it's going to allow people, like you said, to network and kind of use, I don't know, I can come to you if you've had experience with this, that, or the other that I'm having with my client, and vice versa. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. It's about, if you do this, I'd rather give than to receive. So the thing is, in my eyes, because I've always had a goal with Paravision since the day one, and my goal is to help as many as possible, not just the client, but teams, skeptics, whatever. They don't just. A skeptic comes up to you and says, and then the first thing a paranormal investigator does is goes, psst, whatever. Ask questions, investigate what he's asking.
Why they are. Yeah, exactly.
And so I like to, this is a big thing that we're doing. We're going to be, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. We're going to help. It's free advertising. Yeah, I pay for the website, but I'm still giving free advertising. It is a place for everybody to go. I think it's going to be a really cool thing. I can't wait to see the image it's done. And I'm putting the positive people in there. It doesn't have to be somebody that's been in the field for 40 years. It could be somebody that's been in the field for 4 weeks. If I see that they're professional, I'm putting them in there.
You never know what their personal experiences are coming into it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that say that you have to have years and years experience doing this. And you really don't. I mean, I've been doing it 3 years, so I still consider myself a newbie. There's still some stuff I haven't done, but yet I handle myself in a professional enough manner that I can come to you and say, Lee, I've got, this going on. I have no experience with it. Can you help me with it? And I don't feel, out of sorts having to ask for that. And I think this network is going to allow that a little bit more breathing room for people to do that.
Absolutely. And the thing is, too, about that is, we, even though we've been in the field as long as we have, I still feel like I don't know everything. There's things that I don't do that, I would be afraid to mess with, because a lot of people don't realize the paranormal field is not for everybody. There is stuff out there that can... I just stay away from... There's some things that I haven't dealt with. I do want to get into the clergy. I do want to learn that. That is something that Paravisions is leaning to. That is a new thing for this year, is I want to learn some more. I want to get more involved into this high spiritual stuff of going out helping somebody. That is what it's about. And the network thing that we're doing, is, I think it'll help out a lot of people. They can come, they can, share whatever. I just can't wait to, we're working our butts off getting it done, but we all have real world, that
we all have real jobs.
Yeah, the real jobs take over. Jimbo just got here. So what I want is, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Jim and Patrick.
Hey, Lee.
So.
Yes.
Lee, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted, could you pass a message along to Scotty? Everybody over here at PEN hopes Scotty gets to feeling better real soon.
Yes, by the way, guys, Scotty is, he's getting a little better, and I definitely will tell him, and I appreciate that, and I'll pass the message on to him, because I'm going to talk to him tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
Hello. How's it going? This is Jim.
What's going on, Jim? We heard all sorts of fun stuff about you. I'm just kidding.
No, I know you did. Well, I'm not. I know these others.
Got a roller coaster and, have some
talk
fun.
about each other when we're not here.
That's what team members are supposed to do.
I was, Jim, what I did, I told him that this is something Jim doesn't like to mention, that he's been on Ghost Hunter Sci-Fi, and I was mentioning how I met you at Kings Island, and we knew what was coming through that involvement of investigating the park, and then, of course, he was the lucky one to be interviewed and at the first 20 minutes of the show, and so I'm going to give it to you, buddy.
Well, hello, and what would you like to know in that aspect?
Does that make him the celebrity of the group, Lee?
Like this, thank you for asking. No, I don't think so. I think, if anything, it was just a big opportunity that I got. And for me, I've been working for Kings Island for about 10 years now. And I had my own experiences up there while working for the park and prior to the park doing another job or aspect. There was there was an investigator that worked at Kings Island And she had heard of my experiences, and she asked me, she was like, hey, Jim, our team Paravisions is coming up here to do an investigation in a couple weeks. Would you like to help out? And I was like, well, heck yeah, you know. I told her my stories. I told her stories that I had heard before. I thought, if anything, I could be an asset to the team, number one, telling them what has happened or what I saw, what I felt, what I seen, where all these instances has happened. And the fact that I know the park inside now, if I could take them back roads, places that people, you know, never will have the opportunity to do up at Kings Island. So I took them the longest, darkest, windiest road to get back to our very first investigative area. And of course, that's where I had my oh shit experience.
Yeah, we heard a little bit about that. Kind of tell us about that.
Oh yeah, you know, come on. We had 4 days going into this, and stuff happens in the first 5 minutes. Okay, look, you know, I got to come back here tomorrow night too. Okay, but it was fun after, you know, you got the first 5-10 minutes out of the way. That kind of is what set the tone and/or set me straight to, like, you know what, there is stuff out there. There is viable stuff. It's just the willingness to learn, to accept it. And if you don't want to accept it, that's fine. You know, you move on. But it was a great. I worked with Lee all 4 days since he was the lead of the team, and I took him anywhere, everywhere he wanted to go of the places that they wanted to investigate in the park. You know, Paravisions had free reins and took full advantage of it. You know, minus climbing rides and stuff like that, which is, you know, totally out of the question. But so I took him back there, and then about a couple months later, a position became available, and the lady that was on the team prior said, hey, Jim, why don't you put in and why don't you ask Lee? So I gave him a call and went out with him, went out to a couple of investigations, had some instances happen with us there, and I was hooked. It's become a lot more than just being, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, like a fun aspect of it at the beginning, but what it's become has become so much more for the four of us in growing and or helping the clients out there. So it was just
so did you have many experiences before Paravisions came out there to the park?
For myself, my uncle or my grandma and my aunt were always messing with my grandma, and that's basically the story that I'll tell at conventions and stuff. But he's always being messed with. He's a big Italian, and one thing you know about Italian, you don't mess with the wooden spoon to make it the spaghetti. You don't mess with a wooden spoon. He called my mama. He's like, Marianne, where is that wooden spoon? I don't know. Where'd you put it? Oh, Jesus Christ, it's your grandma or my mom, my sister again, you know? So it was just a funny running story. And, you know, I would stay up there with him, you know, for his health and whatever reasons. And sure enough, come the next morning, his necklace would be missing from the nightstand. It would be found on doorknobs behind, whether in the bathroom or in rooms that he doesn't go to. And that wooden spoon was right there on the, it was on the, oh my God, on the oven, sitting right where it should have been the night before.
Oh my gosh.
So that was pretty wild in that instance. And then the other one, when his other sister passed away, his doorbell would ring. Nobody would be at the door. He just got fed up with answering the door. Okay?
What?
Yeah. So one night, his other sister, he had 3 sisters and 2 brothers, count himself. So 5 in the family. So his other sister was over for one of the spaghetti meals one time. The doorbell rang, and she was like, Hank, you're going to answer the door? It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's your sister. You know, she's like, no. So she went out. She looked. There was nobody there. So we're back to eating. The doorbell rang. I'm not kidding you. She ran out there. Nobody was there. She said, hey, Joel, get your ass back up to the cemetery.
Yeah, at some point you just unplug the doorbell.
Well, doorbell never rang again.
Wow.
So
She said that?
Yes, it never rang again. So my uncle said, do me a favor, go up and change the batteries. There were no batteries in the doorknobs.
What? Wow.
That's my family aspect experience. And then,
Wow.
yeah, I know it's hard to believe, it's wild to believe, but for me, getting to see it, do it, and be there for all of it, it's just like, you know, keep it up, Grandma.
Well, and you know what's so funny is, you know, we were just talking earlier about, you know, people coming into the field and having those personal experiences. You know, I think if somebody's just watching the TV show and they're interested in paranormal investigating because they're watching it on TV, I think they have a whole different take versus those of us that have actually had some type of experience, whether it's been, a whole slew of experiences, one or two, deja vu, good or bad. I think we come into it with a different perspective, and I don't think we're as maybe as jumpy
Yeah.
Yes.
for
Yeah.
conclusions on stuff.
Oh no, I mean it was always happening. So it's a partial too that you could chalk it up to was: do you think your uncle was dementia? Do you think he was doing it, not realizing he was doing it? It's possible. But the fact of why would he put it here? Why would he put it there when he doesn't even go there? And
Right.
for me, physically seeing that the spoon was not there, he's got to use something that he doesn't use, and then the next day there it is. I mean that's hard to deny. Now, even to back up to that really still didn't make me jump on wanting to be on a team. I believe Leith already talked about, when Ghost Hunters came out, that's when the whole fad kicked in. For me, the fad and or the understanding and what we get to do now only came about because I met Lee and the team when they came to Kings Island. For me, it could still be stories, still have things happen out there. It's as expected. So, you can Google, you can go online. They always talk about the little girl in the blue dress. It's simple. I say hi to her every night when I'm doing the shift, and I'm there till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes when I leave, it's just me and security. So I just acknowledge that she's there.
Have you guys found that since you've been out there investigating that maybe some things have picked up, or that maybe, I guess another way to ask it is that this little girl spirit might have gotten a little bit more settled and comfortable with you guys when y'all go back out there?
It's a good possibility, but also this little girl has been seen by other park guests and has been seen by other employees, and I think that's where the whole pretense of Paravisions coming out to the park, started. Now, yes,
Wow.
there's always a possibility when you go out to the places, any place that you go to that of known deaths, of course you're going to try to ask questions, see if you can't communicate. So, I think the whole thing now is that really spirits being anywhere. It doesn't matter where you go, what you do, what area you're at. You're just trying to contact anybody that might be and hoping that they can pass the message on to you. As for the little girl, if you ever get to see the Ghost Hunters episode, basically the name is Misery Jane, and it appears to be the only name you can read on the tombstones or the headstones in this little cemetery park right off of Kings Island property. All the other ones have kind
wow.
of their name. So it could have been a name people use. It could have just been a simple name people picked up because it was the only name they read. Just like in any team or investigator, if that's all you got, that's what you're going to try and go for.
That's what
And
you go
hope-
for, yep.
Exactly. And you hope the girl or the guy or somebody stands up and says, "No, silly, that's not me," or something. I mean, that's what you're hoping to catch.
Hope you
Then-
get something on the ghost box or something on an EVP to tell you otherwise,
Exactly. And to my knowledge, and I know it's been a while because we kind of closed up the case and left it where it's at until we get to investigate again. But I don't know of any names, any names or any other names that we've ever gotten. Much less what we did get and what we did get to share with park people.
So do you guys go out each year? When you go each year, do you guys go out the same time, or do you guys go at different times during the year?
Well, it always would be the same time, but because TAPS has been out there this past season, we've been kind of just held back maybe for like one more year, but we have every intention of going back out again and going in a different direction. Like anything, places that you go to, you don't have to find the people that may have died at the park or died at the hotel or died out during motel or something. You may just try to go there to see if there's any residual of anything that might have been there with the park. So, as far as we
in the whole history of it, what was there before. You never know what was there from the land prior.
From pictures that I've seen, this entire area way back in the day was like one partial landing strip, and then major like cows, livestock, and whatever were primarily in the area.
So you never know really what went through there.
No, not at all. And in fact, even with the investigation of the place, there was a power plant that's located back behind, back in the World War era, I believe it was, that exploded. So there was possibility that any of these people from that area may have meandered or worked their way up there. But, with us...
Do you kind of get a sense that the more that you learn, the more that you feel like maybe you're not getting enough time to cover? I mean, I know sometimes we feel that way going out to places. You just don't feel like there's enough time to cover everything.
Oh, totally. You were kind of reading my mind there. You almost want to spend a month at that place, if not other places, just to if you keep getting the reoccurring things, then you can start putting a story together better long term than one night, 4 hours with a family. And whether the family's psychotic or you got something else you got to deal with, you're trying to put the story together for them in one night from a 4 to 8 hour investigation and hope that yeah,
Well,
and then
and I
just
think
hope
sometimes you might get a piece of information and you're all the way a couple hours into your time and it's time to wrap up and it's like, man, that was such a valid piece of evidence and I can't circle back around to it. Or you get back and start reviewing and you hear an EVP that you didn't hear while you were out there, and now it's like, I wish I could go back.
Exactly. Well, if anything, the way that our group is in tuned, if Lee hasn't covered it, it's amazing how the four of us came together and how the four of us work together that, they'll hear things before the recorder picks it up and or before they have to review the recorder, which makes it awesome. And for myself,
awesome.
and I would
that
say,
helps when you're out there.
exactly, you can get the story going. Now, there was even an instance that we had happen a couple weeks ago, which maybe even validates how our team can work a little bit better and or a little quicker. We were there for specifics, anywhere from a little girl to a gentleman to an older guy, whatever. But something else was there trying to draw us in a different direction. The fact that it might have taken us a little bit of time, but we were able to put together a story outside of what was inside of this house. And that's what made this team shine that night, because the people who live there became involved, like, oh my God, you validated something else we weren't even thinking about.
Oh, wow.
Thinking about it. I got goosebumps talking about it. So, with the team, the 4 8 hours that we spent, if we listen to everything that's coming through, whether it's the Ovilus, whether it's the Spirit Box, whether it's the EVPs, it's trying to put the story together to get the results that you're looking for and hoping that you don't have to come back. But if you do, hey, more power to you.
Do you guys, when y'all are doing private residentials and stuff, do y'all find that you're going back 2 and 3 times, or do y'all just hit it, one time and try to get as much as you can?
That's a great question, too. I think we're finding now that we're able to go one time. The problem that we are having, and there probably are other teams listening to us out there, as a paranormal team and investigation team, you are telling the clients, do not do this, do not do that, do not go here, do not go there. And what do? They do it, and they call you back because they opened up another window, or they brought something back when you told them the first time. So we seem, in 95% of the cases that we do, we can get it done in one night. We may ask to come back because we want to validate some things, which is important. We had a case where we wanted to validate something. We got something. We needed it to take a couple more pictures just to verify we weren't catching something that wasn't there the first time. Able to validate, and then that even gives you better evidence to give to the families.
Absolutely. I know we've done one where we've gone back actually 3 times because we had gotten, a little bit the first time, and then there were some questions, so we go back the second time, answer those questions, but then there was more. And so we ended up going back a 3rd time. So, I was just kind of curious, there's really no norm out there of how to handle a private residential. It's based on what you find when you get out there and what answers you're looking for, I think.
I totally agree. And I'll tell you what, we do have probably 2, maybe 3 places that just won't give you the full story, because every time you go back, they're opening up another window. They're opening up another door. When you thought there were only 2 or 3 things, now you're catching 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want to make it a playground, but at the same time, look, you called us in. There is more to this. We really want to come back. We want to give you a full report. And if it goes room by room by room, then so be it. If every room is showing something different, by God, then this is what's happening in this room. This is what's happening. You called us out. Hope you don't mind us out. We got to check
You wanted our help, so we've got to go through the way that we need to do our run through.
Exactly.
We've actually got, our new team. There's just the 4 of us. It's me and Deegan and Zach and Michelle, and we've actually got our first residential. We're doing the interview Friday night, and then we're actually going back to do the investigation next Friday night. And so I'm curious to see the 4 of us, how well we're going to work together to tackle this one. But it's a family that's got young kids involved, and there's nothing harmful. They're just a little curious. They've got some curious spirits around the kids, and they've been posted.
Well, that's perfect. Well, here's two things, and real fast for yourself. Or
On Facebook of
just
their youngest one walking, and you can actually see stuff. What'd you say?
oh no, you were cut out. I thought you were done. So you were talking about the youngest one see somebody walking.
Well, their youngest one just started walking, and so they'll post videos on Facebook for everybody to see of their young one walking. And there's been a couple of them where you've seen, some little, some shadow movement, and you've seen something that's kind of questionable, not knowing if it's an orb or if it's just a flicker of something. But it's enough that they've got some other things happening that, we're going to go out and take a look. So I'm curious to see, with the new team and it being our first private together, how it's going to be.
Well, that's
So-
perfect.
Hair beats and it's dowsing rods.
Well, if anything, too, you're going to find out in your team. For our little team, Patrick and Lee usually work together, and me and Patty will work together. And sometimes if you switch it up, you might get different results. Or if you have it the way it was the first time, you'll get one team of the two might get better results. So it kind of makes it tough. Do you want to split it up? Do you want to break it up? What are you looking to get? What are you trying to accomplish? So with
Well,
your
and also
team,
looking at the chemistry of the team members.
exactly. And that's very important. That's extremely important. And let me ask you a quick question. We were saying about the families. Do you like to investigate with the kids and/or all the family members there, or do you like to investigate without?
I've done, this will be my third private residential. The very first one I did with a different team, and there were a bunch of us out there. It was a larger team. We had the homeowner home. We did the little not the investigation, the interview was probably about 30 minutes. And then they stayed there while we investigated. And I kind of got the impression that maybe it shouldn't have been done that way. So the second one that I did, the homeowner was home. They wanted to be home because what was happening to her was happening to her. It was a spirit that had followed her through childhood on up to being an adult and having kids of her own. So we did want her there, feeling like maybe it was tied to her, that we wouldn't get anything if she wasn't there. She was freaked out the first time, kind of hung out down around where the DVR system was set up. The second time we went back, we actually had her come in with us to see if we got some activity, and we did get some more activity surrounding her. So this one, I told the homeowners, I'm like, if you guys want to be home, I want to come out and do an interview, talk to you guys in a comfortable setting. Let's just kind of get a feel for everything, not really do an investigation. But then I do want to come back. And so, of course, the kids are going to be with the grandparents because we don't want anything outside interfering, but they do want to stay. And I said, that's fine. They're the homeowners. If they want to be there, I can't tell them not to be. And I think if it were me and I had strangers coming to my house, I don't know that I'd want to be too far either.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. A lot of them is that you don't want the kids there. It's tough if they're the trigger object, but, you like to go without them. But, to give you a word
don't want that contamination either.
well, you hit the nail on the head right there. When we do demonstrations, we tell people, do not whisper. We can hear it, we pick it up, and when we do our demonstrations, the people are blown away by what the recorders can pick up. So I always like to do a little funny one, and I leave it there. But yeah, keep it in mind. And the other thing, too, that we find out also with some of the homeowners is they may try to steer you in a direction that you don't want to go.
Yep.
So, keep that in the back of your mind. Well, why are you trying to pull me this way? Let's investigate everything, yada, yada, yada. So it can be
Well,
tough.
just because they feel one way doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what it is. And you could have 2 or 3 things going on there. So it's going to be interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't say anything. Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So enjoy it.
Yeah, and especially our team, we've got 2 adults and we've got 2 young adults, and it seems like I know whenever I take Zach with me somewhere, we seem to have a little bit more activity, and he likes to use the dowsing rods, and we get excellent responses out of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Michelle, we get a little bit with Michelle as well. So, I'm still kind of dabbling with, okay, is it something that's just drawn to us, or is it something that's drawn to them because they're younger? And so, kind of with the new team and us splitting off and going in a different direction, we're kind of limited to just us. And now we can see, okay, is it going to be more of a younger generation, or is it going to be just as a whole? So I'm curious to see what's going to happen on a couple of investigations we have coming up because of that.
No, and that's good. And if you whatever you find works best for you is the best direction to go. But just to keep things validated and upbeat, sometimes you have to switch it up. Whether it's the two young adults going together and the two older adults going together, the younger kids or the younger adults might get something more that the older adults would. We find it crazy that Patrick and Lee can kick butt and have all kinds of things happening with them, and me and Patty are like, okay, they must be up there because we told them to go pinch them or something. We're always telling them to go pinch them. So. Hello, Michelle. Hello.
Yeah, exactly. It's like some nights you feel like you're not getting anything.
Yep.
So there's a question from Yeti in the chat room. Where do you guys see yourselves in 5 years?
Where do we see ourselves making it big?
5 years.
I'm just kidding. I think we're still going to be together.
Overwhelming website. With an overwhelming website.
Hey, this is Patrick DeHart, a.k.a. Scooter. I can answer that question for you. Yeah, I see us sticking together for a long, long time. Our group, like everybody's talked about, we work really well together. We have a very strong bond outside of the paranormal. In fact, that's what called me to this group, this team, because we're more friends than anything. We go out, we hang out together. I'm also known as the guy on the couch here at the Allen's home. I spend a lot of time on the couch. We hang out, like I said, we do a lot of things together. And I think that's what makes our team, I should say, I guess, strong in some senses, because we have a family bond as well.
Well, and you guys have to be able to get along outside of it to be able to work together inside. And I think that's what helps you guys mesh a little bit better, is you can read each other better. And I think that's what helps the four of us as well. You and your e-cig, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's what helps us mesh a little better, because you can tell by facial expressions because you're comfortable with these people. And I think that makes the team a little bit better. You hear these teams that, they don't hang out together outside of investigating, and there's so much drama in the team. So I think it's important.
Right. And due to that, I think it uplifts the energy. So when you do these investigations, when your energy is up and high, you're going to get better activity at the location.
Absolutely.
And, we've noticed it before in the past. We've had other teams we've worked with who they come into these investigations. Their energy level is not high at all. They look like they're depressed, like they're expecting not to catch anything at all. And you can tell a big difference. We were catching things while the other team wasn't catching anything at all. And I suggest this to any paranormal team out there. Go into that investigation positive. Don't think that you're not going to catch anything, regardless if you do or not. Because that energy level really does play a big part, a big role in this field.
Get glad.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. If you go in with a positive attitude, you're going to have it. If you go negative attitude, you're not.
It's like at the jailhouse when you
Right.
go upstairs and do what.
I don't know what it is, but caffeine. Caffeine really pumps me up. So I drink a big Monster energy drink before I go in, and I'm good to go.
That's what we do. White Monsters. Look, here's. Well, you guys can't see it, but Deegan's got the White Monster. That's our favorite, and he'll have about 2 or 3.
I would see Magic Hands, Jim, you just got done talking to. I hate to see him on one of those because this guy is already hyper enough. So I couldn't imagine this guy on a Monster energy drink.
Hey, you guys, now, Yeti just pointed out something in the chat room that I totally didn't tell you guys about stuff. So Deacon doesn't normally talk very much, so we're making a big production out of you guys being able to make him actually speak.
Whoa!
So can you give yourself a pat on the back?
Yeah!
Hey, Deegan, this is Lee, Good Monster. PV, our new logo that you guys put on your banner. We were privileged to get that font from Monster Company to use. That is
Nice.
our PV. So that's my drink. Keep on rocking.
Hey, they need a sponsor. sponsor you now so you can get some more equipment and go on the road.
Since we're on the subject of energy,
Okay, so maybe tell us a question if you guys leave.
what's that?
What's your favorite piece of equipment to use? And if not favorite, what piece of equipment do you use very often?
Well,
Did you hear the question?
Yes, I heard it. I am the tech guy, and my team is telling me to go ahead and answer this question. You know what? It's a tough question. I'd have to say your basic digital recorder on that one. Because with the digital recorder, you're gonna, 80% of your data that is collected comes from that digital recorder. There's no other piece of equipment out there that captures that much. And this is just my personal opinion. So I definitely have to say a digital recorder. Mine being the Sony P520. I prefer that out of all the digital recorders I've ever used. And in fact, I paid $6 on eBay for that. I have yes, I have another one I use. It's a high def, and I only use that when we run the Ghost box.
Just to be able to pick it up.
Yes, you can hear the lower frequencies coming in, and you can make sense of what things are being said. Because a lot of times, when you run the Ghost box, you're hearing things that you want to hear, but when you go back and you review it, you're like, oh, I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, it's amazing sometimes the clarity of the different recorders. I think mine's a Sony. I can't even remember what mine is now. I'm thinking about it.
Olympus.
Yeah, they're both Sonys. Well, Parabeats. Yeah, Deegan's sitting here telling me that's his favorite too, and of course, Zach loves his dowsing rod. So
Yeah.
we all have, I think, our favorite little piece.
Yeah, favorite tool. Yeah. I have to say the second favorite tool of mine to use, I have to say, is the thermal imager.
Oh my gosh! So we've got one in layaway.
Oh,
We cannot wait to get it out. We got a really good deal from one of our sponsors, First Cash Pawn, actually. We got a really good deal on it. We went in there and they won $500 for it, and we started talking to him into sponsoring the show, talked him down. It's a, I forget the brand, but we looked it up. It's like a $7,000 thermal imaging camera that we got for $450. So we're really excited to get it out and start playing with it.
Nice. We actually
have like buys for us on it.
I'm gonna get it out and play with it.
nice.
That was so bad. That was so bad.
I'm better than that, right?
Now I
Oh
think
yeah,
you're
Patty's telling me right now,
guys.
guys. This is something we did when we first got the thermal imager. We went, myself and Jim. We took the thermal imager. We went around the yard at the Allen's home, and they have a tree line behind there. And then they're of course in a suburban area, so we had all different types of environmental areas you could focus on, and we just played around with it, and it was amazing how certain objects look like humans. The fence, the fence. We were looking at the fence, and there was a tree behind the fence. The tree was actually melting into fence and creating what looked like what appeared to be a little girl sitting on top of the fence. As we zoomed in closer, as we kept walking closer and closer, the fence started separating away, and you could make out there was trees and there was a fence. But that's one of the hardest parts about the thermal imager, is trying to determine if you're seeing something that's paranormal or if you're just seeing two objects blended together.
So you kind of have to really pay attention with it.
Yes, and I highly recommend that when you first get it. Just experiment with it on everything you can think of, and reflections. You'll reflect off anything. It could be a brick house. It's amazing what can say.
We're kind of we've been joking around for a while with Eric Hudson from the National Paranormal Society and Shane Hobbs, two of our real good friends here, about Bigfoot hunting, because that's something they wanted to get into, and we're like, no, we're going to stick with ghosts and spirits. Well, we get the thermal imaging camera, and we looked at each other, we're like, we're going Bigfoot hunting with it. for all things paranormal now.
Great to use. Definitely. Highly recommended.
That will be fun. Hey, Eric, how are we doing on time?
Go as long as you want.
All right. You guys want to go a little bit longer? We've already been sitting here chit-chatting for an hour. It doesn't even seem like it's been that long.
Well, hey, you're talking. Hey, we are the team that likes to talk live. You can't tell. It's up to you all. It's up to you all.
I don't, either way, I want to kind of have some fun and get some advice. I think it's kind of cool, especially sitting here kind of networking back and forth. And it kind of goes back to what Lee was talking about with the Paranormal Federation. I mean, we're sitting here already doing that, and we're not even on the website.
Well,
we're talking about, hey, what advice do you have for us on the thermal?
Well, here, real quick, this is Lee again, and I'll pass this back over to Scooter for the thermal. Before the show's over, you guys can send me information through Facebook. I'm going to put you guys on the Paranormal Federation.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome. Either the show or your paranormal team, however you wanted to do it. If you have a website or if you want me to link it to your Facebook, just give me that information, and I'll definitely put you on there.
Okay.
All right? And that
That's
goes
awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
goes for Mr. Eric out there, too.
Okay. Send me,
Eric,
send
out
me,
there.
Lee, if you send me your links, we already have a link page here on the website. We can do a straight swap.
Cool.
See, we're already networking. I love it.
Lee said that anybody who becomes a member of the Federation, the Paranormal Federation, today they receive a free thermal imager / DVR system. Thank you for participating in the Federation.
What is he saying?
He's about to kill me over here.
And where's my boots? Because the shit is getting deep.
Dude, there better be a free white monster in that shit, too.
Yeah, because down the street here, the white one is one of the biggest sell. And I think right now they got them 2 for $3. 2 for $3.
We've got, I think the cheapest I've seen it here was 2 for $4. No. Quick Trip now has them 2 for $3.50.
Wow.
But they're pretty popular.
Yes, they are.
I think they're better than that 5-hour energy now.
Mm-hmm.
So Deegan's sitting here, of course, he doesn't talk very much, so he's writing me notes and telling me I feel like a puppeteer. Why don't you say it?
No, I was just on your take about the Federation after we went to the Unity Fest. It kind of, I was thinking after that, getting a bunch of teams together and actually calling it the Para Coalition, because my brother, he's a bully breeder, and he's with a bunch of different breeders and kennels, and they're called the Bully Coalition. So kind of, ring a bell when you said, Para Federation or whatever, about a bunch of teams coming together. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good name. Yeah, we're down. You guys, I got a question for you.
Just,
There's
And there's more people that.
Do what?
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I lost you all. I just got a question for you and your team. Is there? We were talking about energy levels on an investigation. Do you guys listen to anything before you go out onto an investigation to get you pumped up?
Well,
Any kind of music?
we've done. Shut up! Don't ask him. Don't ask him about music. We're not even. We've done on our previous team when we were with Torch. What we ended up doing is we would all meet, an hour and a half before our investigation and have dinner together. And not only would we get prepared for the location that we were going for, but we'd kind of be in positive spirits. I'll joke in a minute there. But we would actually get together and talk, you wait. And we talk about things, and we talk about paranormal before we start beating you about Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi is paranormal.
Bon Jovi's gonna be your paranormal. But anyway, but we would kind of rise and you know, if we had a bad day or if we'd had a bad week, we kind of left it there at the dinner table and supported each other, had a couple of prayers and a couple of powwows, and we went off location with a little bit more positivity. And we started noticing when we did that we were getting more results and we were getting more responses. We were having more of a positive setting. Now, Parabeats, and he's nicknamed Parabeats because he loves music, does have, you know, he'll bring his iPod and listen to music and get pumping it ready that way. When we leave the dinner location and go to the location, we've got to listen to the crap that Deegan listens to in the car, the heavy metal, and that kind of gets him pumped up. So, I mean, it's kind of, it's not like it's intentional. I think it's just one of those things that happens.
We all Paravision's team, we have a certain song we listen to before we go out. Now it's the opposite of heavy metal, and it's called Frank Sinatra's New York, New York. And that, let me tell you, that gets us pumped up. Dead air. Did I scare everybody?
See, I can listen to Frank Sinatra. That was my daddy's favorite. Who's Frank Sinatra? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Those are some bad words there.
Who are we talking to? Oh, look at the time.
Listen to Lamb of God's "Walk with Me in Hell." That's a good one.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
That's okay. Just give me for the man that's going to be listening to Bon Jovi for an hour and a half tomorrow night.
I will have my earplugs in.
No, you won't. I had to go listen to Hate Breed and Lamb of God. That's certainly way from being paranormal. You guys are going to have to be like paying attention to Facebook tomorrow.
Well, you know, Sinatra really comes because that was my mother's all-time favorite. And I think I sort of rubbed that off on these guys because, you know, I lost my mom over 20 years ago. And, you know, luckily, I don't know, I found it bizarre that all four of us are in love with that song. So it's great. I mean, our road trips, we have to have Frank in the car. That's it.
That's awesome. I know my dad's favorite singer was Frank Sinatra. And so when I hear Frank Sinatra, I think of my dad. So it's kind of, I wouldn't be able to do that because I'd probably start tearing up.
Hey, Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
It's funny you use the 5-finger punch. Did you ever notice my knuckles?
Yeah. Right on, brother.
5-finger death punch.
How do we get from talking about paranormal to talking about your crap?
It's funny that he put that up there, but you don't want to see what my other hand says.
I thought you were happy he was talking because it sounds like he and I are the same the teams. I mean, you know, Liam Patrick up, and so if I get the chance to talk, it's rare.
See, and that's how he is. So y'all definitely have done something to bring out the pair of badass tonight.
Yeah, but hey, wouldn't everybody agree that as far as the music beforehand, it's all about raising your own frequency, and whatever does that for you is what's important.
Absolutely.
For us, it's all about creating and maintaining that positive energy, and exactly like you said, Sherry, leaving the troubles at the dinner table. You know, I mean, you can't carry that shit with you going into an investigation and pile that on top of whatever you're walking into. It's just...
Exactly. Well, and you open yourself up in some instances to be vulnerable to what's there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And I know that's happened a couple of times. You know, like we go to the Hood County Jail a couple of times, and there's been one night that we all were kind of, I guess we were tired and kind of worn down, and we had a very interesting evening. It was one that wasn't like some of the others that we had had there before. So we kind of...
Hello?
Go back to that positivity.
I was going to do a take on that, too. I was talking about earlier at Hood County. We're doing an investigation upstairs, and I won't mention any names. And the other part of the team were downstairs at Command Central. We were getting all kinds of activity, and then when we swapped out, and we're watching them on film, they were a bit aggressive and, you know, in their technique and kind of aggravating and, you know, whatever, but they weren't getting any kind of anything.
No response at all.
No response at all. And they were, I mean, they had prop guns and fake uniforms on, jailer uniforms, but they weren't getting any reaction out of any of them. But they went in there totally aggressive, totally the opposite of what we were doing, and we were getting, a lot of positive reaction out of their stairs as opposed to their approach to it. So,
do you guys ever go in and get aggressive or provoke at all?
No, we prefer not to do that. I mean, we will show up with trigger objects, but I'm talking objects like toys or baby dolls if we suspect.
Sometimes I like to strip down and run naked, but actually I scare them away when I do that.
Yeah. And believe me, that is provoking. Holy shit.
Have you guys ever brought like candy to the little kids? I know we've done like Skittles and M&Ms, and we've actually gotten results from that. Even a pack of gum.
Lee is saying he has provided candy for children, but that whole sentence I just uttered, and again, I'm losing the mic.
Well, you just said something I had to fix.
You're going to get beat with that mic in a minute. We're going to have to send help.
Here's the thing. She said something I didn't like. She said, Lee, candy, children. No, not that way. And white van. We're missing the white van. And she was heading that direction. Know her. Back to Jersey P. This is Scooter. Back to me. I'd just like to say, there's somebody driving that white van, and that's you, Lee.
See? And there it was. That was a slippery slope. We just rode it.
Well, hold on. This is Lee again, and I got to say one more thing. We're all in church tonight on this subject called Saint Happening. It ain't happening, man.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all are crazy. I love it.
Designated microphone with my name on it.
You need to get yourself a hammer over there and start beating them boys.
If they don't watch their ass, I'm going to go Jersey on them. Then they'll really be sorry.
Hey, I want to see that on YouTube tomorrow, Patty. So
You got
Deacons asked, we had put out on our page, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. You can go check it out. We did on our page a link to our YouTube where I guess we're talking about trigger object. We took the original jailer's keys from the jail and took them upstairs solely with the intention of it being a trigger object and, trying to draw something in. We never imagined that the spirits would use it like a pendulum. And so we have a 13-minute video of us asking questions, Deegan's holding the keys, and, the answer for yes was swinging the keys. And when we asked him to stop, it was like somebody grabbed the keys and they immediately stopped. They didn't swing to a stop. They just instantly stopped. And so we think it was awesome. Yeah, and that was Deegan's, that was your second experience.
Yeah.
So we thought that was kind of cool.
That's right.
Do what, Patty?
This is Scooter. I'm sorry I had to take over the mic for a minute, but isn't that amazing how objects can be used for something else than what you think they're going to be used for?
Like that microphone in 2 seconds.
I don't want to hear it, Patty.
I'm sorry. That was just out there. I had to do that. No, that's amazing. We're going to look for that because I'd really like to see that. And that reminds me of an instance that we were put into last summer inadvertently when we were at a location, and there happened to be a pair of old boxing gloves hanging up. And yeah, see, I know. And so we had gone to the basement of this location, and we were putting together this story that there used to be almost like an old-time fight club down there. And then it clicked. We're like, oh my gosh, there's those boxing gloves upstairs. Let's grab them. And, from there, our investigation just skyrocketed.
We were using controversial obelisk at the time, and it just kept saying brouhaha, basement, downstairs, brouhaha. Now, at this time, we didn't know what a brouhaha was. Had no idea what that meant. And then until somebody came up to us and said, "Hey, that's German for fight."
Yep.
And we went downstairs. We got down there, and then at that time, the owner showed up, and we started talking to the owner, and she tells us, "Did you know that down here, where this was an underground fight club back in the I think it was the 40s, wasn't it? The 40s."
Wow.
So we were blown away. We're like, wow. So
And it's amazing.
it is amazing. It is amazing, and that's one of the things about the that device right there. You know, there's so much. I don't know. It gets so much negativity about it, but at the same time, you know, it led us downstairs. It told us things we didn't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It got confirmed.
Yeah, it did. It got confirmed. And the amazing thing was the owner said, "Hey, come upstairs. Behind the bar is a pair of boxing gloves." Now, this place that we investigated just aired the other night on Haunted Collector. It's called the Emmett House in Waverly, Ohio.
Oh, wow.
And I was hoping they would show those boxing gloves. I was hoping they'd pick up something on it, but they didn't. Of course, this story turned a different
No,
route.
that was for y'all. That was only for y'all.
I know. I know. Okay,
Well, I think it's kind of cool to be able to have a trigger object that you can find on location. I mean, we take some, but man, we got all sorts of conversations going on tonight in the chat room.
Cool. Have you guys all seen the new? This is Lee. Have you guys seen the new trigger object that the Ghost Hunter store is? I seen it there. It's the Raggedy Ann doll that lights
I did
up.
see that. You know, I want a bear like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they can do any that you want, and I'm going to get Scooter one. He wants Rainbow Bright. And, that's what I'm going to get him for. Patty's on his computer messing with his Facebook, and she posted something on there. Time to come out. Come out, Austin.
Teddy Ruxpin. Are you
See,
coming out over there, Scooter, or what?
You all right, Scooter?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
He's all right. Just he's all nervous.
He's closing Facebook. He can't delete it.
But no, I was sharing something a little while ago, and I want to get back on that subject. Is our book? Our book will be out this fall. It's just pretty much a bio of us four. How we, a little bit about what we shared. We're all going in depth of more on our personal lives. So we're opening our door to everything about us in this book. And we're already on our second book and writing it as well. So we're very honored to be
Already on your second one. The first one's just now finishing. Man, y'all are.
and
How do
we're
you
already
for all that?
I don't know. We just it just happens, right now this week. Jim and I's been working on the website, working, out every day, and pimping ain't easy and all that good stuff these days. You got to do everything you can.
Deegan has a hard time with his pimping too.
And it's hard. It's rough when the economy is bad. When they bring you, let me tell you, when they bring me half a peanut butter sandwich and 2 pennies, that don't work. Anyway, we got. We have.
Oh gosh.
Hey, you know what? It is awesome to be on your guys' show. Now, is this your first show together? Just
This
this
is our first show together. Yes, this is the second show as the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So the
But yeah,
first.
this is the third time that Deegan's been on a show. The first time he just sat here, and then we were actually on location with the guys from NPS at a Masonic Lodge. So they came in about 10, 15 minutes and pulled him off because they knew it just wasn't going to work. So they stuck him in a room alone because we were filming part of Alone. And then last week he was here, and I think maybe you said 2 words. I think this is the most he's ever said on camera.
Well, here's the thing. This is to Deegan. We're going to be doing an event this fall, and I'm going to be looking for some security. And let me tell you, yeah.
That's what he does. That's up his
Yeah.
sleeve.
what we're doing, guys, is we're going to be doing an event at the Red Mill in New Jersey,
Nice.
which is in the back of the the photo Patty sent you. It's that Red Mill in the background. It's in Clinton, New Jersey. Ghost hunters have been there. We're going to be doing an event there with Rosalind Brown, Bruce Tango, Paravisions, Scream Paranormal, and whoever wants to come out is more than welcome to come out.
Now, when are y'all doing that?
We haven't. We're working on it right now, so we're doing that. That's another thing on our list we're working on. We haven't finished. We don't know the exact date or anything like that, but we're working on it.
Well, keep us posted because that's what Deegan does. We'd love to come out. We want to start trying to get out and traveling some more. We got invited to go out to the Villisca Axe Murder House, but then I've got an event with work in Las Vegas that same weekend, so we had to say no on that. So we're trying to kind of get out more. We wanted to go to the Battleship North Carolina with our friend Shane and Mike Roberts, but that just didn't work out. So we're trying to push some stuff out towards the end of the year so we can actually work around kids' schedules and school schedules and work schedules and get out there.
Does the 6'3", 265 qualify me?
Yeah, that it does. It'll have to work. It'll have to
He's
work.
a little guy. He's a little guy.
So so here's the thing. When we got this one guy that's trying to get in and he don't want to pay his fee, I'm going to be like, well, here, you need to speak to this guy.
Come speak to the wall.
Yeah, I've done all kinds of security for the past 18 years, so I'm very professional.
Well, another thing too to keep in your guys' head, there is a location that Paravisions is trying to bring out to the paranormal. It's called Rock Dot. It's in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're going to be opening that up to the field this year. It's a 103,000 square foot building. It was built in 1840s. It started out as a straw board company. That's what they called cardboard back in the day. Then it went to the powder factory for the Civil War. Then it went back to cardboard, and we're using that. Patty's messing with his computer. But we're using that to open up, and we're going to be doing some events. Now, the guy that's actually opening it up, he's actually putting his house in the building as in the front office.
Oh, my gosh.
And like, yeah, this place is wicked. We've already investigated it. We had TSP, Chris Maggard's group, come out and film us there for Roku. They do the paranormal reality TV, and we were on their show Roku last month. They ran it all month long, but it's
Nice.
a really cool place. They're opening it up. He wants his first concert that he's going to do there. Now this is amazing. He's going to have Kid Rock and Hank Williams Jr. there, and
Oh, wow.
what it's going to be, it's going to involve the paranormal, and we're going to be doing the paranormal after the concert, and we're going to try to get all of those people to investigate with us. Seeing those guys, Hank and Kid Rock investigate, come on now.
Yeah, that was awesome. Especially if somebody gets freaked out. That catch it on camera.
Hank would be like, "Here, hold this Jack Daniels as I hold your voice recorder." And, but anyway, so when you guys come this way, let us know, because we would love to have you guys come through the building, investigate with us, network a little bit here, show you guys some locations that we've done. And
we're looking forward to doing some traveling. I mean, we've done a lot here within Texas, and we're going to be going back. There's a asylum in Arkansas we're going to go back to with a couple of friends here. And then I've been to Oklahoma, and we're going to go back there. So now we're kind of trying to figure out where else do we want to go. When I win the lottery, I want to go overseas to Europe and Scotland.
oh, nice. This is Scooter again. Hey, I got a question for Deegan. I'm seeing you now for the first time, and I just want to know, my question to you is, you know who Fred Durst is?
Yes.
From Limp Bizkit. Have you ever been told you kind of look like Limp Bizkit?
No. That's a
Never been
first.
I don't know, but on webcam, that's what you look like. I was like, hey,
I've been told I look like Wahlberg, Mark, or what is it, Mark McGrath from
Yep.
Johnny
Sugar
Carson.
Sugar Ray.
I've been.
I had somebody tell me the other day that he looked like one of the Kling brothers.
I always look like somebody's uncle, cousin, brother, or whatever. I always get told I look like somebody.
What was that?
I think you guys would really enjoy Rock Dock. Like Lee said, it's 103,000 square feet, and it is just insane. We took a trial group through to see, how it would do, and the responses that we got were really great. And we asked towards the end, for people to show their hands to see how many people who actually got to see something visual. And out of all the people there, I tell you what, it was just about every single person who was raising their hand. So we were really happy for that.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to hit that up. That would be fun.
This is to Deegan. This is for Patty. She said that her feelings are hurt that you didn't accept her friend request on Facebook.
Deegan.
What was this? When was this? I accept everybody.
Don't worry, Deegan. It was a good thing. She didn't accept it. Oh, here she goes. With the computer.
I'm just teasing you, buddy. It was a while ago.
Well,
I
send
understand.
it-
I don't accept just anyone either.
well, send the request again, and I'll be sure to add you.
It'll be nice now.
I actually spent a good hour today filtering through my Facebook and getting rid of a lot of people that I just, was hitting accept just to build my friends list, but I had to weed them out because I got tired of just.
Why don't you tell them the truth? You were tired as a pimp and you just didn't want them all on there anymore.
There you go.
Yeah.
We all,
I'm not a player anymore. I'm the coach.
No,
I'm
the coach.
pimps across the nation. That's how we roll. It's all about pimps across the nation. We are the world.
Oh my God, y'all are crazy. Hey, I am being told that for us to be able to fit our show on YouTube to enjoy this, we're going to have to wrap it up. Will you guys come back on again?
Absolutely. You tell us when we're there.
I think this has been really fun.
Also send us out info so we can put on our website for the affiliates page.
Okay.
And,
Absolutely.
Eric, you do the same for me, buddy, or I'll send you our link, and you can throw it out there. And we really, really, really appreciate being your first guest. That's awesome.
I know. Thank you guys for coming on. We've been wanting to get you guys on. When I was with Torch, we were wanting to get you guys on. So I'm glad we were able to finally make that happen.
Absolutely. And,
Sorry,
we really appreciate it. What's that? I'm sorry.
Give a shout out how people can find you.
Okay. You can check us out at www.paravisions. That's paravisions.com. Or you can go on Facebook, Paravisions Paranormal. Check us out there, or look us up. Patty Allen, Patrick Dehart, Jim Wilson, or Lee Allen. We're right there. We're here to help. Excuse me, anybody and everybody out there. So just look us up. And I'm going to pass the microphone over to Patrick, and he's going to finish it up.
Wrap it up, Patrick.
Be sure to check out the Keys video.
What was that, Deegan?
I said be sure to check out that Keys video on our link.
Yeah, definitely. We love to check that out. Can you send the link to us?
Yeah, I'll repost it.
Nice. And I like to, you all are in Texas right now. And I used to live in San Antonio when I was in the military. I'd like to give a big shout out to Carlos Jr. And I'd like to give a big shout out to the River Walk in San Antonio. Yeah.
Oh, I love the River Walk. Love.
Yes, there's no place like that. There is no place like the River Walk. Some of the best times of my life were spent there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
A couple of kids were made there too. Okay, so as I always say on our show, as I always say on our show, always keep looking into the unknown. Peace.
Oh, y'all scare me. All right. Well, thank you guys
All right.
for being
You
on.
guys.
Next week, I don't even know who's on the show next week. I've had so much fun. I hadn't even been paying attention. So you guys, I'll post it sometime this week. Just want to say thank you for watching. We're going to put a link out for Paravisions on our page as well as the Keys video that Deegan was talking about. So we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.